Hey guys, Akiba here. Today we've got a really special guest for you. We have Nick Rose from Ethernity and Ethernal Labs. Nick, how are you doing?
Hi, how are you? Good morning, and thank you for having me. Been
No,
doing great.
thanks for coming on. We were just having a quick chat off air on the fact that I've been interested in Ethernity and the project since pretty much the early days. And I was talking to Daniel from PokerStarter in Paris that had a lot of positive things to say about you guys as well. So my first question is actually going to be, what does Ethernity and Ethernal Labs mean to you?
Yeah, oh, that's a great question. Well, Eternity's been on the works since 2016, 17 as an idea. Obviously, it took us years to make it a reality, right? Eternity was our first crack, and it's my first crack as a founder to break into the crypto space, because I've been in the space since 2011 as an investor, as a researcher, as an advocate. But building my own company was Eternity is our brainchild and our baby. It took us a few years to put it in motion, and we're very, very proud and very, very happy with what we've built and what we're building for the future. Ethernal Labs is kind of the evolution of the original idea. The original idea was always to build a 360 studio that does everything from educating brands to launching brands and helping brands to launch their own assets and their own tokens, either NFTs or ERCs onto the blockchain space, or moving around different ecosystems and building video games like the one we're building right now with the Exorians universe. So Ethernal Labs is more of our parent company and 360 studio that will help us do that. Not all projects Ethernal Labs will be launching will be Ethernity related. Ethernity is one company. We're launching iCat, which is our focused only art VIP marketplace. We're launching the Exorians universe. All those are separate projects built by Ethernal Labs. But Ethernal Labs is kind of the evolution of what Ethernity was in the first place.
So you did the typical founder thing there and talked about sort of the product and what it does. But my question is, what does it mean to you?
Well, it's my life, really, to be honest with you. I spend like 15 to 18 hours a day working on that. Like I sleep and dream Eternity and Ethernal Labs projects. It's crazy. It's the most important part of my life right now, and that's all I care about, really.
Why does the world need it? Especially, we'll start with Eternity, but then I think just moving into Ethernal Labs, you talk about that was kind of the goal overall, and from looking at kind of the documents around it, you can see that there is that 360-degree offering that you're trying to create there. But yeah, why does the world need this? There's so many crypto projects.
Yeah, the world needs more fun projects around. I mean, I wouldn't, if you take it as a crypto project, I don't even consider it as a crypto project. To me, the blockchain is a technology that you can use that provides transparency and provides digital asset ownership. So if people can have fun playing Fortnite, or if people can have fun collecting Panini cards, they can do the same thing on the blockchain. And there is not a lot of companies who are actually doing that with AAA quality. And our goal is to provide the same or even more fun that these Web2 companies providing, but on the blockchain. That's all it is.
So with Ethernal Labs, you already talked about it kind of being 360 and being so many different elements to it. Like, is there a worry that it's going to dilute to your current offering, or are you kind of already geared up to be able to deliver on this? What's the sort of thinking there?
No, not at all. We have a great team and we're hiring actively. All it takes is a good amount of smart and focused and passionate people and to run each project. Obviously, I'm not going to be the CEO of each company we're launching. Currently, I'm the CEO of Ethernal Labs and Ethernity, but I will end up being the CEO of Ethernal Labs. And to be honest with you, I'm very passionate with gaming and the Exorians universe. So I see myself leaning towards that more. And we have so many amazing people that help Ethernity start. So I see somebody like Adrian Baschuk, who's our VP right now, or Alex Nauman, who's our chief of product, becoming the CEO of Ethernity pretty soon. But yeah, all it takes is a focused and a passionate team to run its project, and it's pretty standard model that every big corporation kind of runs.
Brilliant. It sounds really interesting about kind of promoting from within for the CEO role as well. Like, is that to make sure you keep the sort of the culture and the vision aligned?
The culture and the passion. I mean, these people have been with us since day one. I consider them partners, right? And they're very, very passionate. I mean, really, I've worked with different companies in my life before. I've worked for for a pretty big investment fund. I've never seen employees or partners, I'd say, calling me 1 a.m. at night because they have an idea, right? So that's that's what I'd like to see, and our whole culture and our whole like attitude has been like that since day one. Nobody's been affected from any market conditions, not even when the market was crazy and everybody was rich on paper. And nobody said, okay, I'll go on vacation now. But even now, when everything is crashing, nobody even cares. So I like that laser focus attitude and culture we have within the company, that everybody's just excited to build fun stuff.
So to pulling it back slightly around that sort of the passion, you talk about the 1 a.m. I remember vividly sort of the launch of your first NFT. As I say, I actually purchased it, and if I remember, you were one of the sort of the first projects to like truly break OpenSea, weren't you, when that launched? Because there was so much demand. I mean, at the time, Ethereum's price was kind of similar to now, so it didn't hurt as much. But the amount of gas fees that got wasted because the OpenSea couldn't handle the demand. It wasn't down to your technology. OpenSea's obviously grown a lot since then. But what was that like at that time, sort of just launching this new product and then seeing the platform kind of struggle to deal with your success?
Yeah. So to be honest with you, a lot of people, everybody said, oh, that was great. We broke OpenSea. That's going to make great news. But for me, it was very, very stressful, because for me, I just wanted to sell those things, and I wanted the community to be able to buy them and have them, right? But, obviously, marketing wise, later, it was like it was like a positive. We had a positive feedback because the demand was there. But like I said, I've been saying this to a lot of other podcasts that I go and a lot of interviews I give, that the blockchain space is too new, it's too young, and the technology is still not there, and it's not evolved enough to be able to handle demand, right? So as we scale within the years, because it's going to take us a long, long time to scale, not us, the whole space, right? The whole space. I mean, look at Ethereum. They keep pushing back the 2.0, the merge. So it's too early, and I'm excited to be here that early. But yeah, it was stressful during that drop. But at the same time, it was kind of exciting that, a little milestone and with all this demand.
So, I mean, from there, obviously, you've attracted huge names since then, so Messi, Tony Hawk, Shaq, and investors like Thomas View. He's the guy from Riot, correct? How involved has he then been in the game side of what you're doing? Has he been able to help advise, or?
Yeah, well, he's an advisor, but he's I'm trying to find the right angle for my camera. I think that's the one. Yeah. So Thomas is a good friend, first of all. Number two, he's very, very experienced, and he's done great things within the gaming industry. Seems League of Legends produced one of the main producers of Arcane. She has a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge. There is a Twitter Spaces up there. I'll send it to you after if you want to. I don't know if you haven't listened to it already. We did a little Twitter Spaces explaining Thomas's involvement, but he talks a lot about the evolution of gaming from Web 2 to Web 3, and there's a lot of good insights in there. Thomas is actively involved, helping us build the internal team for the game. We already have the core team, but Thomas advising in everything. For example, I didn't know what I wanted to do in the start. Do I create a lifestyle game that you can play forever, like Fortnite, like a battle royale? Players can hang out, or do I create a quest game like Diablo, for example? That's an RPG that you have to do quests and you can play multiplayer later, right? So he's been helping me into making those hard decisions, and most of the decision has been made, but we're still working on it. This is not an easy process. This is going to take time, because we really want to nail it with the game. So yeah, he's been helping me take those hard decisions, and he's been helping me hire the right people to build the game. on the back end and on the front end.
I mean, that's fantastic. It must be amazing having someone with that experience and success in exactly that field help bridge the gap and knowing what gamers like and what they don't like. So obviously that's a hard bridge to kind of cross at the moment, with a lot of gamers kind of being quite adverse to blockchain. Finding the right solution to that, I think, is going to be key. But I also wanted to know, like, the names like, say, Messi, Tony Hawk, etc. Like, how did you manage to get those sorts of brands on board?
Yeah, I think their agents and themselves, they can see the passion and the quality of the things we've done in the past, and the majority of those drops were very, very successful. And like I said, most of these deals are long-term deals, so we get to do more things with them. I mean, we'll have some announcements coming out pretty soon, especially with Messi. Our partnership doesn't end in one drop. Some of them will be involved in the game. You know, my goal was always to be free, and when you own an Exorian character, you'll be able to maybe wear a Messi jersey on the game, and that's what's fun for me, right? You know, I used to play a lot of games. I used to play Rust, when, you know, they'll have community events, and you were able to wear any skins and any clothing you wanted, right? Same with Fortnite. You know, you see the characters the characters they sell, but like I said, all that stuff is on Web 2. You don't really own them. The company does. Fortnite goes bust tomorrow. All the money you spend are gone, right? On a Web3 environment, you actually get to own those things on your own wallet.
I mean, I think Ubisoft recently have just announced that they're going to end multiplayer support on a lot of their old games. So all the DLC that you've got for like Assassin's Creed is all going away. Like, that's just crazy.
Yeah. Will they refund you? Will they refund you for it?
From what I've seen, I don't think so. So, I mean, so with all that, you've got some amazing advisors, amazing sort of projects. I mean, you started live from like PokerStars, I believe. Like, it seems like a million years ago now. What advice, with everything you've learned, would you give new NFT/blockchain gaming projects starting out?
Yeah, so much advice, man. I don't think one podcast is enough, but so much advice but like I said, the way you do things from when you're launching, and should you launch your game first and your token after, or should you launch the token first and the game later, or the characters first and the token after? It's very important. Like we've decided to go a certain way, a certain route, to launch the token first, to launch the game later, to launch a second token later, because, you know, a play and earn video game needs a dual economy token to function. But we have some surprises there as well. We're trying some things that never been done before on the economy.
So go on, tell us what those are.
You gotta give me some time. I don't want to say anything, but I'd love to do another one when I'm closer to when I've made those decisions, because I think we're building some groundbreaking technologies in the background, taking a little bit of risk there, because you know, few things that we want to do that have never been done before. Because what happens with us, what's happening with us now, Liam, is we got to experience a great market when everybody was playing Axie and everybody was buying NFTs, and you get now to experience a not that great market when you see the rewards are not enough to keep players incentivized on playing Axie Infinity, right?
Yeah.
Just bringing an example that everybody knows. So we are lucky enough, and we get to see the issues, and we get to see what doesn't work for them, which is a pretty huge company. So we get to make better and wiser decisions, I think, for every kind of market, right? Because for me, I want players to have fun playing the game, and I don't want them to play the game because they're making money. I want the players to be able to earn, and that's an extra on top of their fun.
Yeah, Daniel from PokerStarter said exactly that. He said that they've actually banned play to earn as a concept at PokerStarter now. It's only play and earn. That's
exactly.
all we'll talk about.
Very important, because if it's just a game that you can literally have human farms of people clicking a button all day, and
how does that add value to humanity? Like,
that's no fun for me. Exactly, that's zero fun for me.
So with all that. So the game you're talking about, Exorians, like, when does it go live, and how is it going to fit into sort of the Eternity ecosystem? Yeah,
so the game, but the game will take us about 2 years to build. We will have a few beta versions earlier for the community to test and try, and some private betas. So I'd love to send you one when we're there. We're still in the early stages of building character design. We haven't even published the full characters yet, but that will happen pretty soon. And we have some pretty cool people that are playing the characters. I'll give you a little hint. Our main character is played by one of the most popular Marvel superheroes, one actor that's been in Marvel films. One of the A-listers is doing the voice and playing the main protagonist on the Exorian story, like the rebellion protagonist. Obviously, we have the antagonist as well that will reveal that stuff later.
Very cool.
Some great female voices. But the goal for us is commercialize it and make it and we're using those things because we want the masses to be able to relate with the game, and we don't want just crypto people to be able to relate with the game.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah,
exactly, and that's why we're having those. Plus, when he's a good friend of mine, so when I showed him the script and the story and the potential, he loved it, and he said, I'd love to get involved. So it kind of came naturally, and that's what I love about this partnership. All that stuff will be public and within the next 2 months, so everybody will know. And we'll do another podcast and go over it again, and we'll show you in some backstage videos that we've been recording all this time, because we've been already recording. We have an amazing trailer.
So you talk about recording there. You mentioned that the silver screen, is that in reference to the game, or is that potentially some other sort of show? On what website it says that Xorians is coming to the silver screen?
Yeah, so here's what we're doing. The Exorians brand will be out of 3 elements. Comics that will be sold through the Ethernity marketplace and app and iPhone app. Readable comics with a real story, so people can can understand and see what's happening and who is who within the Exorians universe. The video game that people can actually have their favorite characters and play against each other on a lifestyle game and potential a quest game, but we're leaning more to a lifestyle game for now. And number 3, if everything works as expected, a TV series inspired by Arcane. I'm not saying in any way that we will have the same success that Arcane, because like I said, that's a crazy thing to say. I really want to, trust me, but League of Legends is how old now? 13-year-old game or 12-year-old game that has millions of people in their community, and Arcane literally broke Netflix, did better numbers than Squid Game. I don't know if you had an opportunity to watch Arcane.
I've seen the first episode, but I'm slightly biased in that I'm a Dota player, so I begrudgingly enjoyed what I've seen of the show. But I mean, it's Xbox, PlayStation sort of thing for me. So
got it. So yeah, Thomas produced Arcane, so we have a lot of the cultural approach they took. So this is like a dream of mine mostly. It's not a promise that we will eventually create a TV series, but depends on how successful the game and comic line is going to be. There's potential there for us to do that. I mean, we have everything to do it. We're well funded. We have some pretty big names that will potentially be the voiceovers for the characters, and a fast growing community that will potentially watch the show. But this is way down the line. Nothing that's going to happen in 2, 3, or 5 years. Who knows? The game might go live in 2 years and it becomes such a huge success that we want to do this fast, but you never know. At the moment, it's not in our roadmap, right? It's like a dream. It's like a little dream that eventually we'll be able to have our own TV series.
I mean, that sounds super exciting, and I think would tie in the whole ecosystem. NFTs and gaming in general. I've been hearing a few people talking about, within this next the bear market that we're going through before the next bull run, the potential for a kind of NFT gaming sort of decoupling from Bitcoin. Do you think that that's possible within gaming, that those projects could start to, like, are kids playing a game like Exorians going to care about the price of Bitcoin? Does it matter?
No. I think gaming will be completely separate from all these factors that you just mentioned. And people are always wondering, oh, the gaming price, the gaming, like when something trades within a marketplace like Binance or Coinbase and it has value and people see, forget about the kids that are playing the game and they're having fun and they don't even care. They're probably making a little bit of money but their priority is to enjoy the game. When you see the whole world burning, war there, inflation there, the markets are going down. The moment you have a fungible token trading into an exchange, and people see their portfolio going down, you can't really control their decisions. So, to me, it's not about Bitcoin, right? Look at the stock market. Look at the commodities market. I mean, the commodities market, not everything, but I think it's more of a natural human reaction when something of value you hold and you have that access and you'll be able to sell it and get hard cash from it. I think humans will continue to do that. So I don't think we can really guarantee that people will hold on their tokens because you can't control the next war or the next supply chain issues so that everything that's fungible and tradable in an exchange that has actual value, humans tend to sell or buy, and you can't control their actions at all.
But you do see there being potential of decoupling from Bitcoin, though?
For sure. So, for example, let's say we're in a healthy market. There's no wars. Inflation is under control. Bitcoin, for the extra reason, gets hacked and goes to zero. I don't think the gaming tokens will have anything to do with that, right? So, as far as the world is right,
in an established blockchain gaming market,
yeah. Exactly. As far as the world is right, it doesn't really affect the gaming tokens. But like I said, everything that's on our hands, we're going to do right, and we will make sure that this thing has an actual value for people to play and earn, right? But like I said, you can't control what's happening in the world, and what people don't understand is it's not Bitcoin really that moves things. It's the world really that moves things. And another example, so we don't bore the listeners. Look what happened with Terra Luna, right? This guy built this massive, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, built this massive monster of a mechanism, right? That a lot of people invested to. And it has so much TVL that it was enough to affect the general market because Celsius and all these other DeFi platforms were so exposed on it that now they have to, it was like a domino effect, right?
Oh yeah, and it's still not over, yeah.
Celsius didn't do anything wrong. They were just exposed towards this monstrosity this person built. But now it's like a domino effect that's affecting everything. So the Celsius founders, to me, how can I blame them for they fell for Terra, obviously. But like I said, that's how the world works. Unfortunately, when you're overexposed in assets, it can bring down markets. 2008, the American housing market. Not even the banks could see it, right? How could a 21-year-old founder from Canada would, right? So sometimes things are out of our control, and you know, the majority of founders out there are genuine, and they just want to build cool stuff. And not everybody's malicious, like potentially the Terra.
Yeah, allegedly,
yeah.
So, what's the next big update we can expect around Ethernity or Exorians?
July, we have a bunch of updates. I mean, the most important update is we have our iPhone apps coming out, and this has taken us months, but I feel this is going to be one of the most fun apps you've ever seen.
Cool.
Compared to other apps that sell digital collectibles, I think we're a step higher, if not more. I'd love for you to see it. We're literally almost there, like 2 weeks away for the app to be ready. We'll be testing it internally, and there might be Boss Logic. I'm trying to get Boss Logic to be our first drop ever. Because it's actually, he was our first drop.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
So it's a good anniversary. So I wanna
cool.
to do the first. I'm speaking to him. We'll see.
Sounds good. So the last thing I'm going to ask everyone to do this is a little bit that I call Shill or Fill. So you've got the option to talk about a project you're not related to that you think is super cool for 1 minute, or talk about something completely unrelated to crypto for a minute.
No, I don't seal stuff. So let's talk about something unrelated. Listen, I love a lot of projects. I love a lot of projects out there and a lot of good founders, but I have too many friends and I know too many good founders. If I seal one after, I'll get, oh, why didn't talk about mine?
So tell us something uncrypto related about yourself then.
All right. Okay, let me think. So we've been filming a documentary recently. It's got from this company called Docs TV. They do documentaries on founders. And something I've really enjoyed while filming this thing is going to go out soon. I think this page, the Metaverse, is producing it from Instagram. Great page, very, very up to date with things. So something I've been enjoying filming is they wanted me to show the rest of my life and the rest of my lifestyle and what I do when I don't work. Okay, cool. Which is not a lot of love. And I've been enjoying going like rock climbing and surfing with them because that's what I do when I don't work. I don't really like. I'm not a person that you'll ever find in a club. I don't party at all. I don't drink alcohol. I'm like a full-on nerd, focused on work and nature. So I spend so much time in nature. Like that's something not a lot of people know about me. So I spend really the rest of my time when I don't work in nature. Like the moment I finish from everything, I just get out of here and go rock climbing, or I'll go paragliding or surfing. So I spend a lot of time out there. Yeah, so I'm excited for people to see this documentary when it comes out. It's like a couple of episodes of me and my partner's lifestyle in the background, right, when we don't work.
I mean, that's super cool because it's like very different. Obviously, building a metaverse, building like digital tokens, and then like, oh yeah, as soon as I'm done with that, I'm out in the countryside.
That's what keeps me sane, Liam, and that's something very important to pinpoint for kids and future generations is we're building metaverses not to live in them full time. The most important thing in life is to get out there, right? Now, metaverses and video games are great tools to connect and have fun with your friends, but that shouldn't be everything. I've never urged anyone to play a video game all day. Like, you should have balance in life, and balancing your computer console time and digital time with your outdoor time is very important in life. And me personally, if I wasn't able to be in nature, I wouldn't be able to build any of that stuff I've been building all these years. So very important for future generations and kids. Don't stay on your screens all day. Get out there, because out there is a different type of fun.
Well, there you go. Anyone that's watching right now, put your iPad down, turn off your computer, go outside. Nick told you to do so. You've got no excuse. Nick, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and look forward to talking to you again soon when you know a little bit more about Exorians and you can release a bit more info. Thanks, Liam. Would love to do that again, man. Thank you for having me. You're welcome. Okay, guys, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching to the end. It really means a lot. If you're interested in watching more content like this, subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost a penny. If you could like the video, it really helps it get out there in terms of the algorithm. I know everyone says that, but it is true, unfortunately. And leave comments below about sort of what content you'd like to see next, who else you'd like us to interview. We've got a massive Rolodex of people. We're trying to find really interesting projects and getting a different angle for you guys to get some insight into the industry. You can follow us on Twitter, so at CryptoSlate, or myself, I'm Akiba Blade. And obviously the website where the majority of our content is CryptoSlate.com. So go there now. We have a membership, which is called Edge, where you can get insights, data, exclusive articles, some really great stuff. And there is some cool stuff coming up with Edge for Edge members in the not too distant future. So check it out. And until next time, have a great day.